Now we'll go to F, adopt a resolution approving first quarter budget amendments for the 2010-2011 General Fund, Special Revenue Funds, and Enterprise Funds budget, adopted budget.
Thank you. This is a review of the budget amendment, actually a presentation of the budget amendments for the first quarter. So I'll go over them pretty quickly. For the general fund, there's a couple of adjustments for the revenue side of it. Shortly after we adopted the budget, we made a change and made a transfer in from the state library fund so that we can pay for the library part-time hours. So what you see really on the top of the slide is the revenues coming in from the state library fund, and obviously increasing the budget for the part-time salary. So, you know, the $22,000 on top and the $22,000 on the bottom, if I may, kind of the debits and the credits, the spending and the receiving of the revenues. The next item there, in terms of reimbursement of police services study, is also an accounting item. We had not accounted for the reimbursement for the city of Millbrae and also the associated costs for the sharing of the study, and therefore we have the revenues and the expenditures for that amount to be adjusted for our budget. And then lastly, in terms of the revenues for the general fund, we enter into a new contract with Nextel to update a site rental for cell phone tower, and that actually helped improve our revenue picture, expected revenues by about $12,000. And then if I go on the appropriation side, the very last item, the City Council authorized the recruitment for the city attorney, and there's some costs associated with that for $20,000, and therefore the adjustment for that amount to the general fund. Other funds, just to talk about the disaster, City Council authorized appropriations for some geotechnical and structural engineering services for $84,000, and also some security services for the Glenview area for $108,000. Those were all presented to the City Council during the first quarter. And then lastly, some expenditure items for the water fund and the wastewater fund. There was a purchase of 7 water tank mixers that were approved by City Council, and also wastewater metering study was approved for $65,000. So those were the adjustments that were reviewed by City Council, and some internal adjustments that the staff is recommending for the first quarter for the city's funds. So I'll take any questions in terms of adjustments, budget amendments.
To the chair. So you've listed the two items that we've the two expenditures for as a result of the Glenview fire.
That's correct.
So there's been no other expenditures from the actual disaster as far as first responders or other cities or other agencies or anything. There's been no exchange.
Yeah, no, there obviously have been expenditures. In terms of first responders, not only have we incurred expenditures, there's obviously mutual aid expenditures that we're compiling. Okay. In fact, we sent out recently a request to all the mutual aid agencies to provide us so that we can collect all of those first responder costs so that we can submit the claim to the state and for the FMAC grants that was approved. So absolutely, these only identify specific actions from the City Council in terms of things that came forward to you for authorization. But absolutely, there are many more expenditures that's been accumulating in this fund that I just identified, and it sounds like it's something that the City Council would like to see when I do the next quarter's presentation.
Thank you.
If I could just add, the Finance Director indicated earlier that these are only the costs that were incurred through or amendment amounts that were approved by the City Council through September 30th. There have been, and in particular, there was authorization at the last council meeting in a significant amount that will be reflected in the next quarter's reports, and we can certainly provide cost information to the City Council prior to your January meeting. That's probably a little bit longer than you might really want to wait to get a sense of what our costs are to date. But as the finance director indicated, we are actively in the process of compiling those costs at the current time.
Any other questions on item F? Need some action?
Through the chair, I'd like to adopt the resolution approving first quarter budget adjustments.
Council Agent Member Rivera.
Aye.
Council Agent Member Salazar.
Aye.